We're on?
We're on.
Okay, here we are.
Hi.
Day 4.
Day 4.
Amazing.
Day 4 of 1,000.
Okay, so we've had a very productive day. We've been aiming to get to these storyboards, and we've got some pieces of paper here with actual storyboards.
I mean, we have some proof. Yeah. So what we've started to do is doing a version of the storyboard that is all text with just some ideas and notes on the back about how things are going to play out from a game mechanic perspective. But basically what we've done is broken one concept down into its learning targets. Let's go through the actual example. So in the quest, we're talking about developing leadership skills as one of the most important things to get people right into is developing some coaching skills so that they can
towards the goal of actually having someone consider themselves a leader.
Right.
Yeah.
Self-identify as a leader, and that will pave the path to teaching them some ways to interact with other users on the platform in positive ways. It's like a kind of like an intro to doing this in a nice way to successful gameplay.
Yeah,
I would say. So our first learning target is students will be able to, if we frame it like that, identify themselves as a leader or gain insight into their leadership style. So we've figured out some sub components to that, which is firstly is defining other leaders around them and in their life. So in doing that, we took that as a discrete idea. How do we gamify identifying other leaders in multiple ways? First way is competition. So we've got time pressure, we've got a word search game where you're compared to your peers, and your score is sort of based on how many of these words you found from the list, and then afterwards it's personalized by you match those findings with with people in your life. Do you want to discuss that one? Surveying 100 people?
I'm not sure what to say about it. You talk about it.
I'll keep going. Okay, can you edit that little part there?
No.
Okay. Then we're going to go live. So the other one is non-competitive. So instead of being a word search where it's competitive and you look for the number of real leader type people like priest, rabbi, whatever you can find in a list of words. Instead, we're going to give you 3 different real leaders. And you select who the most popular one on those list was from a survey of 100 people. You know, we surveyed 100 people. Pick the person on the list who is the most popular answer for who is the best leader, right? You pick the most popular person from a number of different screens of this, and then you're given a list of these 5 people you've chosen. Now you identify the people in your life who are most similar to those popular leaders. So this isn't competitive at all, not like the other one. There's no time pressure. There's no comparison to other people, how they've done. It's just you looking at what's popular, looking at what other people are thinking about, and then comparing it to your life.
Yeah. And when I've run these quests before, some of the feedback was people loved, getting out, doing these missions, live missions, getting out off the computer, off their phone into their real life. And they asked for more of that. So I thought, how can we do this with this self-identifying as a leader quest? And what we thought was go out, talk to a stranger, a friend, and a family member, and ask them who would you consider the best leader ever? And we're going to provide them with a little script so it's not super awkward.
Especially for the strangers.
Yeah, exactly. Going to take care of those strangers. They're unknown participants in this real life quest. So they don't even know they're in the gameplay zone. And get people out there interacting. And through this process, ultimately identify sort of most popular leaders, and then bring those home to who are the people in your life who are like these people.
Mm-hmm. And this is just the first step in the learning target of identifying leaders. Then we identify characteristics of those leaders. Then we do some learning involved with leadership types, and then getting them to play with what they do with the leadership types. So this is a tiny little game at the start of a big, long journey.
Yeah.
Demonstrating proof of concept that we can gamify individual learning targets. This one is about getting up and moving. This one is about non-competitive exploration. This one is about competitive time pressure kind of thing, but they're all the same learning target.
Yeah. So challenges. One of the challenges that we have faced is finding other examples of similar sort of games that are similar to what we're looking to build here. And what we found was that there's more courses that are gamified and very few games that are coursified.
Right.
There is a woman, her name's Jane McGonigal, one of the spokespeople for gamifying life in a sense. And so we went on, checked out the game that she's created called Superbetter. It's basically a game to help you get through depression. And what have you got to say about that game?
I like some things about it, but it is very text-based. It's not very game-like. And this is in my research on gamification in general. A lot of gamifying is just adding points, badges, and leaderboards to otherwise dry curriculum content. And content is not inherently interesting because it has a point system or because you're progressing through it or because it sends you a reminder every day, right? So that's what we want to get away from is we want the content to be intrinsically interesting and useful.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I have to say about
So what's
Superbetter.
next? What's next? We're going to keep going through Superbetter. We're learning a lot. It's got some great stuff. Definitely a visionary game, and we want to take it to the next level.
Mm-hmm. We got a lot of really good things today. Also, just a housekeeping thing. We got ethics approval.
That's
for,
huge. Woo!
For human research subjects. All of it's done.
Good work on that.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've got teachers to contact, and we've got students to give the survey, and we've got lots of stuff going on.
Yeah. And our survey code and card and invitations to have participants or youth, young adults, students specifically in this case at SFU, taking our survey and giving us input on how to make this the most awesome game ever.
Yeah.
Is happening.
Yeah, so they're gonna be taking the survey, and then we're gonna be doing focus groups, and that's good. We're doing good.